Diller-Odell Coach's Corner, a service of Sutton Repair, Heartland Bank, and Eichmann Electric.
Hey Griffin fans, when your team heads into battle, we understand the power of supporting your community and local athletes. That's why at Heartland Bank, our commitment goes beyond banking. We invest in the hearts of our communities. Hi, I'm Market President Matt Raber and invite you to discover the Heartland Bank difference. Because when you choose Heartland Bank, you invest in local dreams and hometown victories. Heartland Bank, a proud supporter of Diller-Odell Athletics. Go Griffins. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sutton Repair and Odell can work on all makes and models of cars, trucks, or vans. With over 45 years of experience, their ASE certified technicians can get your vehicle running in top condition. All engine work, including transmissions. They offer a 25-point inspection on all oil changes, computer diagnostics, and new tire sales. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Small town service, big time know-how. Sutton Repair in Odell.
When it comes to electrical work, trust the experts at Eichmann Electric. This is Marcus Eichmann, and we offer a full range of services, installation, maintenance, and repair for residential, commercial, and agricultural properties. Licensed in Nebraska and Kansas, we're dedicated to delivering the best solutions for your needs. From wiring your new home to keeping your business powered, Eichmann Electric is here to keep the lights on and the power flowing. Call me today at 402-587-1071 or visit our website at EichmannElectricLLC.com. That's Eichmann Electric, your hometown electrician.
Welcome into the Diller-Odell Coach's Corner program, joined today with head boys basketball coach Dylan Hendricks. Coach, you're getting ready for this kind of final stretch of the year. I know you have a game coming up Friday before the tournament, but I want to talk about, how you felt the Medecas tournament went for you guys. I know it didn't probably end up the way you wanted it with wins, but how did the boys, compete in that opportunity?
Being an 8 seed, we got Freeman as a draw to start with, and Freeman is a very, very good team. And to pile on, we had some major sickness. I normally suit up 14 people for varsity, and I only had 8 healthy bodies that was at our game, and then one got hurt during the game. We only had 7 in the second half. So with all those circumstances, I thought we at least competed well. Freeman's just very, very good, but I like the fight of our team. And then Saturday, we played Fall City Sacred Heart. I'm not going to lie to you. We were a little disappointed with the way we played. We didn't really show up like we thought we would. So we're going to get them at least another time, if not 2 more times, so we live and we learn.
And that's kind of what I wanted to ask about, too. I know, obviously, I just see the scores, and you're telling me kind of the story behind it. But how important was it for this team, to take on a solid team, but then learn from, I guess, that game like you're talking about against Sacred Heart, where you didn't play near as well, and just have that conversation with the boys about, expectations, I guess, when you go into games like that?
Yeah, against really good competition, the margin for error is very small. If you let up for a second or you have a bad 2, 3, 4 minute stretch, well, then they attack. Against teams not quite as good, you can get away with a lot more. But against the good teams, you got to stay on it, and I think that's the step we need to take, is that we have to play a full 32 minutes and not let up.
And then, coming out of it, you bounce back with a win against Southern, and then a 4-point loss versus Lawrence Nelson there. Just coming out of that tournament and getting ready for this week, how important was that win against Southern, I'll say, to kind of maybe get a little momentum back here?
Yeah, so last week we played Southern on Tuesday, which Southern is sort of a rivalry school just because they're so close to us, and they have definitely had our number in the past. So, it was important for us to come out and play a good game, which we played pretty well, and then we won by 10. So I was happy we were able to get back into the winning column. And then Thursday we played, going into the game, a 9-2 Lawrence Nelson team that was number 10 in D2. And we played about 3.5 quarters of the best ball we have all season. And we were up by between 5 to 12 points throughout the game. And I really thought we were playing strong. And then we just kind of fell apart in the last 4 minutes of the game and end up losing kind of a heartbreaker. So, it's important. It kind of comes at a good time, and we have all the way till Friday to kind of correct some things and get back in the good mojo going into Superior.
And, with this team this year, too, as well, I'll kind of classify it, I guess, on a quote-unquote younger team, only 2 seniors. I know no coach ever wants to take a loss, but when you come out of that game against Lawrence Nelson, and I hear you talking about not finishing, how good of a learning tool is that for some of these kids that might be on the varsity level for the first time this year to say, we were there, but these games are going to be 4 quarters because you're facing tough opponents the rest of the way?
You're exactly right. That they're all learning experiences, especially you just want to be playing your best ball here towards the end. Like I said, I think the boys were disappointed that we didn't finish it off, and that's been the weird thing this year is that we haven't really been in a lot of really, really close games. So just getting that experience and learning from it and hopefully not make the same mistake in the next month.
Well, and every game's a learning opportunity, regardless with a win or a loss. And you mentioned it, you have an opportunity this week to get some practices in before Superior. So before we chat about them, what are you kind of working on this week at practice that you want to prepare the team for next week's league tournament?
A little bit of everything. I think we've lost our edge a little bit, but we've played our last probably 8 to 10 games have been very, very high competition. So I'm just looking to get our edge back. And, that starts for us, it always starts with our defense. But then one thing we got to get back to is rebounding. I thought we were rebounding at a very high level to start the season. And here, when we played a little more athletic teams, we've struggled a little bit. So we got to get that. And then, like always, we got to get our offense figured out. The last 2 games, we've actually shot it good from 3, but we missed a ton of layups and a ton of shots in the paint. So that's something we got to really focus on here this week.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you made a good point earlier, too. Getting your mojo back. This is a long season. I know it's coming towards the end, but staying aggressive and attentive in practice and in games is going to be important. And I'll talk about Superior just a little bit. Their record's 5-9 as of right now, but they, just looking at the stats, 3 players averaging double digits. So how do you plan on attacking this Superior team and I guess slowing down the scoring that they might have in this contest?
Yeah, so I think Superior is actually much improved from the last couple years. I know their record is still 5-9, but they've played a lot of teams competitively, and, we're going to have to bring it. Their 2 leading scorers, they're seniors, and they've been playing since they were freshmen, so they don't lack experience. And, their best player, number 3, he's a really good player, really quick guard, and our hands will be full with him. But big thing is just we got to own the paint and we got to own the boards. That's one thing we've struggled with, like I said a little earlier, a little bit. I think this is a game where we should win the paint.
Well, and like I said, and you said too, much improved Superior team. I'm not going to chalk it up to a win by any means, but it'll be a good test going into league. And last one here for you, Dylan, before I let you go. But we were talking off air. When you get into league tournament next week, you're kind of going to be middle of the pack. So obviously an opportunity to pick up some wins. But like every other contest, you're going to have to play good in order to get those wins. So what do you want your team to take away from that week of playing, a lot of games in a short amount of time and hopefully coming out with victories?
Just sort of like last year, we were probably about at the same record, but we ended very strong and we made it to a district final, and that's kind of what it's all about, is playing your best ball here towards the end and playing at the height of your power. So that will be our goal, and hopefully we can start turning the corner here shortly.
Like you said, I think last year you used it as a springboard in order to get to where you're at, and hopefully you can do that again this year. Again, talking with Dylan Hendricks, head coach of the Diller-Odell boys basketball team. Dylan, I appreciate your time. I'll look forward to chatting with you after the tournament, and best of luck in that one next week.
Yes, I appreciate the time.
Diller-Odell, Coach's Corner, a service of Sutton Repair, Heartland Bank, and Eichmann Electric.